No. Hi, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Can you believe it? We made it
We made it to what?
out of 2020. Melissa, she's trying to log in. I haven't heard from Scott.
Hey, everyone.
Hi,
Hello.
Terry. Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year.
You know what I wanted to do? Do you all have a copy of the Code of Ethics? Or I'll pull it up so we can share. Do you want to give Scott a few more minutes? Is anybody in the waiting room?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Whose
You could
birthday?
have her. Maddie, how do I get this to?
I sent the link to Melissa and Scott. We do have a quorum.
But is this going to connect to my phone?
Did you press the button on the back of the AirPods? Just listen to it outside. Okay, fine.
God. I'm trying to get my headphones stuck on this thing because my kid's microphone wasn't working.
Okay. Well, we can wait a few more minutes. Melissa's
Yeah,
here.
Maddie. It's not working. Hello.
Hi,
Melissa.
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Whew, how was your holiday?
Very good. And yours?
Was good, fast, weird, COVID, you know.
Yeah, that explains a lot.
Trying to figure out this on my phone. Okay.
I sent a text to Scott. Well, I sent it to Melissa, Terry, and Scott. So I haven't heard back. I don't know whether you want to start or you want to give them a few more minutes.
We can start if everybody wants to.
Everybody. Okay. This meeting is called to order under the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act. The secretary certifies that all requirements have been met. I, Karen Grover, Board Secretary, call this meeting to order at 6:05. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies as any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Washington Township Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be given and by having the date, time, and place mailed to the clerk of the municipality and posted on the administrative office's bulletin board. Roll call. Mrs. Akey?
I'm here.
Mr. Bartling is absent. Mrs. Plummer?
Here.
Mrs. Lee?
Here.
I'm here and Mr. Solly is absent. Screen. Let's stand for the flag salute. Can you see the flag?
I can't.
Nobody can see the flag? Hang on.
No.
No, I can't.
Now?
Oh, there it
Yes,
is.
I can.
There we go. Finally, right?
Very nice.
I pledge allegiance to the
The
flag
flag of the
of
United States of America
and to the
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So I have to give a few minutes for any public comment. So we would just wait to see if anybody wanted to call in to make comment. The phone number is 609-561-3868, and I'm extension 124. Just received a text from Scott. He thought we were in person, and he just said, give him a few minutes to log in. Well, it doesn't appear that we're going to have any public comment. And we don't actually have to vote on this, but the Washington Township Board of Education shall enter into the recorded minutes the results of the 2020 annual school election held on Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020. And Charlene was successful for a 3-year term. Charlene, do you have the oath?
Yes, I do.
Okay. This time, the board secretary, me, Karen Grover, shall administer the oath of office to the newly elected member of the Washington Township Board of Education. Charlene, would you just like to read it?
I, Charlene. I can just read it, Karen.
Okay.
I, Charlene Lee, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and this state, under the authority of the people, so help me God. I further swear that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law for the office of member of a Board of Education, and that I am not disqualified as a voter pursuant to RS 19-4-1, nor disqualified due to conviction of a crime or offense listed in NJSA 18A 12-1, and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office according to the best of my ability. So help me God.
Welcome back.
Thanks.
Do you want to wait a few minutes for Scott before we start nominations? Or do you want to?
Yeah, we can.
Oh, he's here.
Fantastic.
Hi, Scott.
Evening, everybody. Sorry about that.
It's all right. There is an error on the agenda. There is no need for a motion and a second because the nomination acts as such, but there will be a roll call vote after each nomination. So at this time, I would like to ask for nominations for the position of President of the Washington Township Board of Education.
Sure, I'll nominate Charlene for president.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any other nominations? Okay, I'll have a roll call vote. Mrs. Ake,
Yes.
Mr. Bartling,
Yes.
Mrs. Gierick,
Yes.
Mrs. Plummer,
Yes.
Mrs. Lee.
Yes.
At this time, I'd like to ask for nominations for the position of Vice President for the Washington Township Board of Education.
I'll nominate Scott Bartling.
Touche.
I'll second it.
Is that Melissa?
Mhm.
Are there any additional nominees? Having none, I'll close the nominations. Roll call, Mrs. Ake,
Yes.
Mr. Bartling,
Yes.
Mrs. Gierick,
Yes.
Mrs. Plummer,
Yes.
Mrs. Lee.
Yes.
At this time, the newly elected president assumes the chair.
And fanfare. Yay!
Yay! Congratulations, Scott. Can you see the code of ethics?
Yes.
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 Arlene, the meeting.
You want me to take over? Okay, guys, we're going to all start. I'll start off, and then we'll do Scott, Terry, Beth, and Melissa. I will uphold and enforce all laws, rules, and regulations of the State Board of Education and court orders pertaining to schools. Desired changes shall be brought about only through legal and ethical procedures.
I will make decisions in terms of the educational welfare of children and will seek to develop and maintain public schools that meet the individual needs of all children, regardless of their ability, race, creed, sex, or social standing.
I will confine my board action to policymaking, planning, and appraisal, and I will help to frame policies and plans only after the board has consulted those who will be affected by them.
I will carry out my responsibility not to administer the schools, but together with my fellow board members to see that they are well run.
I will recognize that authority rests with the Board of Education and will make no personal promises nor take any private action that may compromise the board.
I will refuse to surrender my independent judgment to special interest or partisan political groups to use the schools for personal gain or for the gain of friends.
I will hold confidential all matters pertaining to the schools which, if disclosed, would needlessly injure individuals or the schools. In all other matters, I will provide accurate information and, in concert with my fellow board members, interpret to the staff the aspirations of the community for its school.
I will vote to appoint the best qualified personnel available after consideration of the recommendation, where to go, of the Chief Administrative Officer.
I will support and protect school personnel and proper performance of their duties.
I will refer all complaints to the Chief Administrative Officer and will act on the complaints at public meetings only after failure of an administrative solution.
The code requires that I have a signed copy or an acknowledgement form that you have read the code of ethics. So there's one attached in the email to the agenda. If you could sign that and scan it back to me. And if not, I'd be happy to mail you a copy to sign and you can mail it back. Just send me an email.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can I have a motion to appoint of delegates and representatives?
I'll make it.
I'll second.
Who did we have last year, Karen?
You shared it.
All right, we can do that again.
Yeah, I'm fine if we want to just keep everything the way it was. I mean, it's up to
Agreed.
everybody else, but I mean, I don't know that it really incurred a whole lot of responsibility on any of us for the whatever delegates we had set.
Want to do roll call?
Yeah, roll call, sorry.
Mrs. Ake,
Yes.
Mr. Bartling,
Yes.
Mrs. Garrick,
Yes.
Mrs. Plummer,
Yes.
Mrs. Lay.
Yes. Can I have a motion to approve the 2021 school board meeting dates, times, and locations?
I'll make it.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Mrs. Ake,
Yes.
Mr. Bartling,
Yes.
Mrs. Garrick,
Yes.
Mrs. Plummer,
Yes.
Mrs. Lay.
Yes. Can I have a motion to approve 7A through G, annual motions and designations?
I'll make it.
Who was that?
Melissa.
Okay.
Anybody want to second it?
I'll second. I'm
I'll
sorry.
second.
Any questions regarding anything in A through G?
No, nothing's changed from last year. I just want to point out that D, we're approving all the policies and procedures, but later in the agenda, there'll be the additional policies for second reading that haven't been adopted by the board yet. That's why you'll see policies on the agenda twice.
Call?
Mrs. Ake,
Yes.
Mr. Bartling,
Yes.
Mrs. Garrick,
Yes.
Plummer,
Yes.
Mrs. Lake.
Yes. No reason for executive session. Board of Education business, correspondence.
The board received 2 letters, one from each county, Atlantic County and Burlington County. And what the letters both say is that because there are fewer than 10% of the students enrolled in Mullica from Washington Township, that you don't have a voting seat on the board. You can continue to sit with the board if you'd like to do that, but you can't vote. And it's due to the enrollment.
All right, perfect. Old business? Oh, any questions about that?
No, it's no different than what it's been, you know, so.
No, same.
Old business?
No.
New business?
Jess, would you like me to send the request for 25,000 to the township, or Mrs. Lee, would you like to do that?
You can do it.
I'll write
Let's
the
start it
letter.
off
Okay,
and then I'll finish.
okay.
Help them with their amnesia.
Student enrollment?
We're down 2 students from the beginning of the year. But it's been pretty, it fluctuates 1 or 2 throughout the school year.
Okay. Can I have a motion to approve them? Well, yeah, approve the minutes from November 30th?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm going to abstain. Recommendations of the Board Secretary, Business Administrator. Can I have a motion
I'll make it.
and a second?
I'll second.
Karen?
These are the normal monthly approvals. There was not a bills list in December, and there isn't one on this agenda. There'll be a January bills list at the end of this month, which will be approved in March. There were no transfers for November. And I think October's was approved. Let me check into that. The semi-waiver is required every year. The school qualifies for a waiver because we have fewer than 40 students that are Medicaid eligible. Policies are the second reading for the policies that we had for first reading at the last meeting.
Okay. Roll call?
Mrs. Aki,
Yes.
Mr. Bartling,
Yes.
Mrs. Skirick,
Yes.
Mrs. Plummer,
Yes.
Mrs. Lee.
Yes. Informational items. The next regular meeting of the Washington Township Board of Education is to be held on March 15th, 2021 at 6 p.m. via Zoom. Any comments?
That's the meeting that the board will be approving the budget to be sent to the county. We have no information. They haven't submitted the audits yet. Today was the deadline for submitting the ODSUM, which is the electronic version that they base what our tuition rates are so that we can do that under the budget. We don't have any information on state aid. That usually comes much later in March. So that the March 15th date would be to change if the state changes anything, but if it stays the same, we're fine.
Okay. Comments from the public?
Okay, again, we have to allow some time for public comment. The phone number to call to make comment is 609-561-3868, and that's extension 124.
Karen, do you have the ability to tell if anybody's actually streaming this or no?
Let me text Mike. He's on it, so I know he's streaming it. Last time it was just him. Let's give him a minute. We don't have the audit yet, but our surplus, I know, is up over $600,000. What we'll see is as they reduce our state aid, our surplus is going to reduce too. Let me see if I can.
I'm assuming it's too early to know anything about the minimum tax levy and all that stuff too, right?
Yeah, that doesn't come out until the budget software comes out. So there's really not too much until I have, what the CPI is, and that's what our transportation increases. So until I have that number, I have the tuition rates and I have the state aid. There's not a whole lot that can be done with the budget. I will tell you this year, our parent contract that we've had in prior years, this year the parent did not need the contract. I guess the student is old enough to drive, or they're virtual. So that was $19,000 that we pay in tuition, or in transportation, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Well, I never received a response from Mike, and we haven't gotten a call.
So are we ready?
I think so.
All right, so no need for executive session.
Yep.
Does anybody have any questions, concerns you want to bring up? Everybody's shaking their head no? Okay. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make it.
I'll second it.
All right.
Fantastic. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 16:26. Oh, wait, 18:26. Wow. Maybe I'll go back 2 more hours.
Sorry, who couldn't
It's
use
still
2
not
hours?
bad.
I'm on my kid's computer. It's not set to military time. All right, guys.
Well, it's nice to
Thank
see everybody. Like
You
always,
too.
feel free to call me if you need anything. Once I get the budget together, I'll send you the detailed budget like I have in prior years, and you can review it. I did see the police are in our old school, so
Yeah, I
that,
saw that too, yeah. Park
it's nice to see somebody using the building.
It only took 2 years, right?
Is that who's using the building now? Is the state
Park
police?
Park
think
police,
Oh, park police.
yeah.
Okay.
Talking to Jason Snellbaker, they're supposed to be eventually set up with selling hunting and fishing licenses and stuff out of there too. And they're supposed
Yeah.
to move the marine fisheries thing there as well. But,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
If they decide that's what they want to do, right?
that was the plan because he's, the Fed wants them off the Cody Creek place there,
Mhm.
because the trailers and stuff they had were temporary and it kind of got screwed up in Sandy. And like I said, the federal government, was looking for the state to be out of there. So whatever. It's nice to see something done with it anyway,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then they're just sitting there.
Right.
All right. It's been good seeing everybody.
All right, again.
It's still a record, Charlene, for
Thanks for texting me, Karen.
oh, my pleasure. Next,
Have a good night.
everything's approved as Zoom until we know that anything else has changed.
Okay.
So it'll
I'll
be
send that
Zoom.
form
and
over
I'll
to you
send-
now too.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, I'm sending the ethics form over to you now too. I don't.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
Great.
All
All right. I'm
Bye.
gonna